We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What's happening, man?
What's good? What's good with you?
It's Friday, man. We made it this far, though, man. I'm a full week now into surviving this Atlanta pollen on out here, though, man. So I think I'm officially in my allergies routine where I got something that will make me survive a day, though, bro. So it's been cool.
I ain't gonna lie, when you started saying you were surviving, I just knew you was finna say surviving R. Kelly, bro. I was gonna be like, boy.
No, sir. Hey, what's real dope though, man, is I got a chance. It's been warm out here for the last couple of days. I got Billie Jean back tuned up. So I've been cruising around Snellville with that though, man. So it's been dope, man. It never gets old when you get that look when somebody was like, yo, that's a fly ride.
So I'm taking it that's your best thing that you seen this week was getting Billie Jean on the road.
Oh, yeah, I think it did. Listen, early. Yeah, I think so, man. Yeah.
For me, it's simple, bro. It's just making it through the week. Had a little bit of just real quick before we get into the music, I bought a car from Carvana, and when they delivered it, it had a little bit of damage to it, so they had to take it and finally do the repairs. And it was a stall on me getting the renter car, bro. So finally got the renter car, and it's been a week because we've been carpooling over here, and it's been so your boy been working all kind of weird hours. So the best thing I seen was finally getting that renter car, bro.
Hey, man. By the way, shout out to my dude, Byron Mayhem. He has Mayhem Pressure Washer Business. Just an all-around solid dude. Does a lot of things. Just somebody who's just good with their hands, basically. That's an old saying. He's good with his hands. But I had got when I first started working on the Bel Air, I started trying to rebuild my 350 motor block, small block Chevy. And I got it where it kind of looked like a model engine. Looked at how it looked on Summit when I went on out there. Yeah. And then I was like, all right, I got it in. How do I get it to run, right? So I took it to him, man, and he got me straight. So that's my guy, but that's who I got with to get back on his busy calendar to get Billie Jean running. So now she running real quiet, real smooth. I drove 60 miles an hour in it for the first time ever, like in maybe 6 or 7 years though, man. But usually it's just for cruising. I'm holding up all the traffic because I'm going about 30 miles an hour, man. Everybody got to see me in there, bro.
So you trying to say Billie Jean good for the summer, huh?
Billie Jean is good for the summer.
Yes. I think you like that. Let's get it, bro.
Billie Jean is good for the summer.
Can you dig it, sucker?
The greatest podcast of all time.
Try Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands. Try Jesus, please don't try me, because I'm fine.
I didn't hit the air horns though. Am I missing something?
He needs some milk.
Oh my god. Oh man, yo, it's funny you said that good for the summer. Because I think that probably was the last time that I was actually flipping Billie Jean real good. Was for the good for the summer video. I remember shooting that, and I did it for my photo shoot for the album. And I can't believe that was 2020. So yeah, right around COVID was the start of COVID was the last time I had my girl right though, man. But we back.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
But you back rolling though, right?
Yeah. I got, like I said, I got the rent a car for right now, so hopefully it shouldn't be too long to get the whip back. But I'm enjoying what I'm driving. It's fun, so I'm cool as long as I get around. That's all that matters right now. I mean, they're fixing the whip for free, so.
Let me ask you something, bro. This is a whole separate subject. This is how much I guess I don't know that I have either been paying attention to new artists, maybe some of these artists. Like I think that some of the people that Linda listens to, they're all really young rappers, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of gives you the opportunity to grow with rappers, right?
Yeah.
And so that kind of reminds me of when I was talking to the homie Chris Top, right? The bad guy said, that J. Cole was Lil Chris's favorite rapper. And I told him, he asked me, who do I think? And I told him him why. Because that, if you're a big fan of J. Cole now, then it means that you were listening to him on Friday Night Lights. I think that's the name of it. And so you've been growing with him for like over 10 years now, when he was probably about 12 years old or something like that. Anywho, but I think a lot of these new artists give their fans because they're on at such a young age. And if you're able to capitalize on that kind of momentum and give you some longevity, you do that. But that also gives you the opportunity to know stuff about them, right? Mm-hmm. So I didn't know. Did you know? Are you familiar with Coi Leray? You got to be.
Wait. You talking about, is that Benzino's daughter?
So why did I just find out that she was Benzino's daughter? Like Monday. Like I never knew that the entire time, bro.
Well, the only reason I'm not going to even front like I just knew like that, because I don't really keep up with any new artists really. What it was is that I listened to the Breakfast Club a lot, and in their Bleacher Report, in their rumor report, they talked about their estranged relationship. They've been having an on and off type of relationship, and so of course the recent thing that just come out of her talking about them being broke when he used to own the Source. And so he took issue with that because, and she was just, kind of saying like, look, there was a time where I didn't have all this money. Like I'm not coming into this with a silver spoon like most people think. Like there was a time that we were broke, even though my dad owned the Source or whatever. And of course he took issue with that or whatever. And so they always have a back and feud, and they be going at it on Twitter a lot too. So
I never. So this is here's a crazy thing about it, right? The crazy thing about it is I saw it come on up, right? They were talking about Benzino and his feud with Coi Leray, and I'm just sitting here thinking like, that Benzino's like 50 years old. Like, what is he doing feuding or beefing with a kid, basically? No, I never thought about it. So then when I saw something about, I thought that there was something that came out here recently that said that Benzino was apparently, that Coi Leray had disclosed that Benzino was messing with this transgender chick, right? That was like this week. So when I read the headline, this is how I found out this, right? I thought that the headliner was basically like, oh, they've been having this beef. So the punchline was that Benzino was going to, they said Benzino, I guess how I read it was Benzino has just found out or revealed that, Coi Leray's father messes with a transgender woman. So I was thinking like, why would Benzino even be involved with that? And so somebody said, no, Benzino is her dad. And she said that Benzino messes with a transgender woman. I was just like, oh my gosh, though, man. I said, where about, like, I don't know. I guess I didn't know how. I wonder how didn't I know that? But I also can know exactly why I didn't know that, though, bro. But yeah, it just blew me away, though, man.
Yeah. No, it's real random. Just quick question. Did you ever watch Orange Is the New Black?
So I watched the first two seasons of it, and it lost me.
Okay.
I didn't pick up on the third, and I think the third is when the really, really fine girl comes in with all the tattoos.
Okay. Well, I mean, there was 6 seasons.
I think she came in. Didn't she come in on 3?
You talking about? Okay, I think I know who you talking about.
There's a real fine.
White girl?
I think she's bisexual white girl that has yeah.
I know who you talking about.
Yeah.
They had a couple. They had a couple of them that came through there. So you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But okay. Well, if you ain't seen it, then ain't no big deal. But
no, what's good though? What am I missing?
No, I'm just saying I finally finished it. Like it was one of those ones that me and Sarah started watching together. And then, of course, my schedule got busy and she left me, which seems to happen a lot with shows. Which is why that was such a big deal for her to jump on Utrecht. And so, my thing is that I finally got an opportunity to finish it. So I was just pretty impressed with how they closed everything out. And
this was funny. I heard that people hated how it ended. Like I saw that there literally was a list of shows that had the worst endings. And Orange is the New Black was one of those that had the worst endings.
I didn't think so. Here's the thing. That show could have went on for forever. It's a jail show. You know what I'm saying? Like there's going to be some people that get out. There's going to be some people that don't. And that's what they did. Now, they may have hated the way some of the characters ended up at the end of the season, which I understand that. But to me, it was a solid closing for me to be like, okay, I'm cool with everybody's where they left off at. Like I thought the final season, they addressed the things that I thought they should have addressed. The only thing I will say, there was a part of the season where they had like the main cast of characters that they were following around the whole time, and they split into this. They split, and so then some of the other main characters were at another prison, and the other main characters were at another prison, and so they focused only on the other prison. They never went and focused on the other prison.
Right.
So toward the end of this season, they did like the last episode, they did a flash of the other season and kind of touched on those characters. And so maybe that was a reason why, because when they was showing it, I was like, dang, I forgot they haven't been in the last 2 seasons pretty much. So yeah, it was an interesting show. I mean, I would say I was satisfied. It was definitely not as bad as Game of Thrones last episode.
Nah, I thought Game of Thrones was dope.
You gotta be kidding me, bro.
I thought Game of Thrones was dope. Listen, man. I like this.
Charlie, stop it.
What was bad about the Game of Thrones ending?
For one, the girl, what's my girl name? Queen of the Dragons. What's her name? She died. That was dumb. Like her character change was so sudden, bro. Like, come on, man. Like they just instantly made her the villain. It was so unclimactic to see how the brother and sister died. That was dumb.
I thought that was dope.
That was so climactic on how that happened. So you mean to tell me that the Unsullied, as hard as they were, that Jon Snow kills Khaleesi, but Worm Dude don't kill him right there? Like it was just like character to me. Characters change. If you keep a character the same and it ends, I have no complaints. But if you change a character, especially when it's so sudden, that's what I have an issue with. And so they were losing ground. Like I know HBO was probably trying to hurry them to get stuff out. That's why you had episodes where people had coffee cups in the episode. Like, come on, bro. Like,
I listen, man. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it. But so here's what's funny though, because it's Game of Thrones has been so long. It hasn't been that long ago since you watched Game of Thrones. So for me,
I watched the end with everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What it was that I didn't watch Game of Thrones until it was 7 seasons. It was 6 seasons out.
Yeah.
So I caught all the way up.
You caught all of them.
Yeah, I caught all the way up, and then I went 7 and 8.
I think that what I typically, this is the one thing that I can say. I think that with Game of Thrones, I would rather have watched Game of Thrones with no breaks. So it's almost like it's like Walking Dead, right? So for me, I think that like season 2, 3 of Walking Dead, 4 fire episode. Fire seasons, dope episodes. It's dope that they have the villains. It's dope when they introduce, probably like around season 4, maybe is when Negan gets introduced. And then, even then before Negan, there was the governor. They I think the one thing that they do really great is they position their villains so well. But I think what happens though is that when you gotta wait, like now, it's like they're dragging out this final season. I mean, and I get that it's the last one. They drag it out to where it's like, all right, bro, you can easily forget certain things in the wait. And so I think that now they're like up to like season 9, and they're dragging this one on out. They drug out the last one as well. And so I think that you can forget some of the details. Whereas if you watch them all back to back, then I think that you don't miss anything that way. Kind of reminds me of you are watching Last Kingdom now, right?
Yeah.
And knowing what I know now, I think that I saw it when it was fresh. So I was like, oh, okay, didn't know it was going to be 5 seasons now, but it's one of those that I would say that, if I could just watch it all 5 straight, I would have though. And instead I had to wait. So,
Yeah, that's the thing with Game of Thrones. It does. I'm come on season 2 right now. But yeah, Game of Thrones was such a great show, but season, like, it was just too short, man. Like I get, and this was the season that was off book. The dude had written, like, the first couple of seasons were off of the books. And then this last season was not. And it was just, like I said, there was just a lot of character choices I didn't necessarily agree with. And it's not even so much that it didn't vibe with what I wanted it to be. It was just more so I didn't like how you had a character act like their character. And then that just changed all of a sudden. That to me was just, yeah.
Anyway. Listen, man, Game of Thrones has, I'm just saying, think about that. Game of Thrones has some epic moments overall, holistically. Let's say, even when you talk about, let's say the ending, that's question. What's that?
The Red Wedding.
The Red Wedding is one. I couldn't wait for how Joffrey was going to die. Like, I could not wait.
Battle of the Bastards.
The Battle of the Bastards. Jon Snow coming out the icy lake, though, bro. The dragon coming out of there, man. Like, it was just everything about it. I think when the Night Walkers finally actually got to the wall, I thought that was epic. Like, the building up to that moment, it was incredible, though, man. But the other part about it too, man, that I thought was incredible was with how the revelation and how the dragons got cool with Jon Snow, right? Where you kind of think, does he they got something going on or whatever. I thought that was fired up. Game of Thrones is my joint though, bro. Yeah.
How the boy Mandalorian got his head squashed, bro.
So what's funny? It's funny you say that, right? Because
you didn't know that was the Mandalorian.
No, I didn't know that it was the Mandalorian back then, right? Because it was the first time I had saw Mando was that movie. I hadn't seen him in anything else prior to that, though, man. So
because he was in Narcos too, right?
Yeah, he was in Narcos. Yeah, it's funny because even in Narcos, it's weird because he has like this Spanish accent strong in Narcos. So I didn't even realize that there was even Mando.
Yeah, that's Mando, bro.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I see people who are talking about Moon Knight and they're talking about Oscar Isaac and they're like, bro, I ain't like they don't associate him as being the dude from Dune. Like he was the dad in Dune.
No, I don't either.
He was Poe Dameron in Star Wars.
I gotta catch up on that episode because I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it this week. I'm behind for some reason on a few things though, man. I think that I'm behind because I've been in the lab cranking out some music here this week though, man. I've been in the lab heavy though, man. So listen, by the way, happy for the homeboy Rocky with the new music that he's been putting on out. And then of course you and I have been working on some projects and everything like that, but the production behind that, the trying to get you to see the vision on this boy vocals on this thing here, man.
It's definitely what it is, seeing the vision.
It's a task in itself, though, man. So yeah, man. But I think that's the reason why, because I'm behind on Snowfall.
Well, I can't give away my secrets why I'm so caught up because it ain't got nothing to do. Like it like when I get home and the time that I dedicate to studio and all that other stuff, that time is still there. There's other ways that I'm able to stay current. And of course, because of my other job, I have to stay current on stuff too, because I have to talk about it. So it's one of those things that you get the luxury of just being a fan while I got to report on the stuff. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this though. Just switching topics here, man. Did you see Elon Musk put in a bid to solely buy Twitter, bro?
I didn't see it, but I'm aware because I saw the
$50 billion. How many?
Yeah.
How many $1 billion does he have? Elon Musk. I know that him and Jeff Bezos are up there, but if you put in a bid to pay $50 billion, like how many B's does he actually have?
Man, it's up there, man.
Tesla's
out of here, bro. But no, like I said, the only reason I kind of knew something was up because I seen the boy David Allen Greer. He offered to pay $40 in cash for Twitter, and he said, "Twitter, the next move is on you. Ball's in your court."
Maybe this is me, and I just didn't know this. I knew that Elon Musk just had more imaginable money than anybody else that can actually that I can even think of. But there are a lot of people who got some long bread. So he's worth $273 billion though. So I could understand where he's like, what's 50 off of this if I'm gonna go ahead and get it back on the back end?
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, 181 B's, bro.
Yo, speaking of Bezos, and this is kind of in the same type, and we can swoop back around to the Twitter thing. But when you say Bezos, I know his name has been attached to the Commanders. And you know, the Commanders, them boys has been in trouble because of the fact, so they've been hiding money, right? And so they've been hiding money with their revenue, like the ticket sales and stuff like that. They've had two separate books. And so the new report is that basically that they've been taking some of the money and then throwing it into some college games so that the NFL couldn't see it. So there's a bunch of like money stuff going on with the commanders. So it looked like boy Dan Snyder could be
Get him out of here, man. Like, listen, they've been trying to get rid of Dan Snyder for years, bro. They've just been looking for something to get rid of him. Listen, man. They've had the name change for one hanging over him. They've had all these allegations and lawsuits from all these women employees that were with them as well. I mean, there's always been something attached to Dan Snyder, and I think that one of the issues, and maybe it's not, maybe it's NFL owners don't see it, but people just have issues that, all right, you know what, he's this trust fund kid who inherited the team from his dad, who just got endless pockets and can do whatever. And what's funny about it is that, you know, ever since he's been over the team, they've been very much neck and neck with the Dallas Cowboys, where they've been absolute trash for like 20-something years. And I think that people are just so over him and his ownership style. People in DC that I know just talk like he has this real smug arrogance of a billionaire that you would think. Like a lot of times, man, you see a lot of people, man, who when they've been billionaires, a lot of these guys got it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like they talk about Jeff Bezos, and all of these guys have had $1 million investments put into them, but that they weren't right off the gate billionaires. But I think that Dan Snyder is the only one I'm aware of that just, hey, he's never seen a bad day. He's been a billionaire from day one, though, bro. So people like they've been looking for reasons to get him out of there, bro.
I know exactly what it is, bro. I know exactly what it is.
He needs some milk.
Hey, you know who needs some milk?
Who that?
Whoever this dude is, the baby shot, bro. Listen, man, when are they gonna learn to stop playing with the baby, bro?
Hey, listen, the dude lives in a place that is gated. So I'm not mad at him, bro. They better stop playing with him, bro. He might be the baby, but he the man, bro. If
I live in a gated community, right? That means that you had to have gone out of your way to trespass my home, right? You had to go out of your way to try to make me a victim. And so the baby basically said, hey, I could have killed him, but I wasn't on that time. And I hope you heal up, but just know I ain't the one to play with, bro. And I'm
not mad at him, bro. It's just unfortunate because the problem is it's not so much that. It's just because incidents keep happening around him, right? And so the thing is that people, because he also had that thing where he tried to kiss the fan too.
Oh yeah, listen, man, he looked so thirsty on that. I'm not gonna even hold you, bro. It looks so cringy though, bro. Like he looked so thirsty. And what's wild about it, he looked at this woman like this was the woman of his dream, bro. And she was just like, listen, shout out to her because listen, she was not participating in the hot girl summer. I could have listen, whoever that man's girl is, whoever she belongs to, he needs to go ahead and wife her ASAP because that's unprecedented loyalty to me, though, bro. You very rarely see that from someone who is a genuine. She looks like, no, I am just a fan of yours, though, bro. That was impressive to me.
Yeah. I will say though.
Stop trying
like
to baby, though, man. Stop trying to baby.
Y'all better stop because I mean, the dude. He will protect himself at the end of the day. And that's and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, what else we got?
So let me ask you this, bro. When you think about coaching, when you think about kids learning the game of whatever,
right?
Do you think yelling is still necessary? Now, before you answer, let me preface it by saying this. We looking at the way the world is changing on the views and thoughts and things and how, people are really thinking about things before they do them now. So I'm just looking at do we need to change the way we coach? Because, everybody's getting participation trophies now. What you think? Do we need to pull back on the yelling?
Okay, I think it's levels. That's a deep conversation because you might have somebody like Tony Dungy who is very soft spoken, and I think that the one thing is nobody has ever shown me a time where Tony Dungy Dungy had to actually grill somebody, yell at somebody. So when you do something wrong, he'll correct you, but it's in a very straightforward, polite, soft-spoken way. The same way he would is if you do something great, he's also there to build you up, right? I think that where the yelling culture that we grew up in, right? Where I know that my basketball coach was a yeller, right? He was a holler. It was almost like you were afraid to mess up because you didn't have very much margin for error. Now, part of that, right, had to do with the fact that on my team, right, you had somebody just as good as you was that could, pull you mess up. I'm pulling somebody in who will do just as good of a job that you can do, right? So that was part of it. But I think that the other part about it too, man, is that I don't remember a time where I thought that coach who yelled at you would jump on your back about something that you did when you messed up. I don't remember him building you up, patting your back when you did something great, or when you feel like you screwed up and you screwed up. Instead of him jumping on you, him finding compassion in that moment to build you up, right? So right. I think that I feel that it's a gray area. For me, I think that you can be I'm a yeller, right? Like I coach my son's team. I yell at my son more than any other kid because I know what my kid is capable of, and I don't know what these other kids' dad can show them. But at the same time, I think that I listen. But when something goes great, I'm the first one there to dap him up. I'm the first one to tell him a good job. But even to take it a step further, when I'm coaching, like when I'm playing ball now in my city league that I'm in, man, I'm playing with grown men. They're younger, right? But I mean, at the same time, if I'm coaching them at the same time, I'm yelling at them to get back on defense because they may have those lapses, and they're like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and get back. Or if I'm but when they make that shot, I'm right there with them and everything like that. Or when they do something dope, I'm there. So I think that you can be a yeller, but I think that if you're gonna be that way and give that kind of smoke, then you have to give that kind of energy both ways.
Okay, I get that. I think I'm just looking at I think that when it comes to coaching, I think that each kid needs something different. I think that I think it's just like parenting. Not every kid needs like in my house, right? I used to give spankings, right? But as the like Charlie doesn't really get spanked because that's not really something that really works for her. Like if I raise my voice at Charlie, that gets the action to change. You know what I'm saying? So same thing with like Carly and Layla. Like really didn't, or maybe early on they probably got spankings, but as they got older, it was just like no, like things change. And so now Tari and Deuce, they was bad when they was growing up. So, they had to take a couple of L's. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is that each person is different in how you do stuff. And the same thing with coaching. I remember Deuce was on this AAU team, and there were a bunch of really good kids on the team as far as basketball skill wise, but they had some attitude issues. Didn't want to come to basketball practice, but didn't want to show up to the games. Was probably coddled for when they play varsity at their high school or whatever like that. And so coming here, they expected that same treatment where this coach would like, nah, like, no, if you don't show up to practice, you ain't getting much playing time, or you ain't doing this, you ain't doing, or he make them sit out for the tournament, whatever the case may be. Especially when Deuce came, it was different because it's like you're bringing somebody who is very ball dominant, who's very intelligent, and is one of them dudes as well. And you're trying to put him with, basically like, look, now we finna build a team around you because we know that you will be here. Right. And one of the kids was like, he never tells us we do a good job. He's always just yelling at us. And I remember him saying that because there was a couple of games that I had to coach, and I don't coach like that. So it was a difference. But yeah, I just wanted to know.
Listen, man, like I said, I give the same energy that I give you when you mess up. I give you the same energy when you do something good. But I think that the big thing about it, though, man, is that I look at it like this, though, bro. I do think that with some people, and not to say that, like you said, that every form of discipline or addressing something varies. But I do think that some kids especially need to do thrive when they are challenged in that way, right? Because there are some kids where they may not even have you may have a kid who's grown up their whole life without a father figure, right? And now you got some grown man who is trying to do something or say something to you in a way that your daddy probably should have, right? And so you've been the man in your house your entire lifetime because you and your mom and your siblings or whatever, and to them, you may be their way out. You the one that's getting us out of the hood and everything like that. So you've been the man in your family. And so now here it is, you get to where you got a coach who he may see greatness in you, but you've never been pushed to pull all of it out, bro. I do think a lot of that, but I think that I think that there's nothing at all wrong with coaching somebody hard if you love on them hard equally, though, bro. That's basically where I look at it.
It's just one of those things like too, going in the military, right? When we got off the bus, the TIs, they were straight yelling because some of these people that were getting out of high school, whatever, never had discipline before a day in their life. And so, or structure or somebody, because in the military, you always got a boss. You know what I'm saying? You always got somebody that's over you. And so they had to build respect early, and yelling was a part of it, bro.
Well, here's the thing about it. Think about this in the NBA playoffs, right? Think about stylistically. You got Doc Rivers who's out there, and Doc Rivers will lose his voice fast because he's a yeller, basically, though,
him
right?
And Thibodeau.
Yeah, him and Thibodeau will lose it, but then Doc Rivers is in the playoff. Frank Vogel isn't known as a yeller, right? And so the minute that he really started to do that, right? Everybody, the reports that he lost the team, nobody was listening, basically, though, man. But I think that a lot of that in professional sports, it's tougher to me when you think that, you got guys now who got contracts that are longer than the coach's contract. So it's like, Doc, I'm gonna be here. Yours ain't guaranteed. And at some point, when you start to hear the rumors about your coach getting ready to get fired, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, all right, bro, I really ain't got to listen to you because, you know what I'm saying, you might not be here. And so I think that to me, I think that it's harder, though, to me, the coach NBA players specifically, it's harder to coach NBA players harder because the league is such a player-driven league. Whereas in the NFL, I think that the NFL is more team-oriented, right? But I do think that it's harder nowadays to coach professional athletes harder than what you would have, because I just don't think that, especially when you talk about these new, these new Zennials, man, they're different, right? They've been groomed to question everything, right? They're raised, but you think about it though, bro. They're basically raised by us, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were raised by us, who are those tweeners, right? Between the old school way and the information wave. And I think that we've learned that there are things that we were taught that we were like, all right, we were taught that way, but we won't necessarily pick that particular thing to parent our kid or teach or pass on our kid, though, man. And so because that's the case, though, these Zennials benefited from that. And I think that their thought process is more along the line of, that's not cool. You can't talk to me like that. And it's not that it's a disrespectful thing. I think that they're just raised different. They're a product of our teaching, and we were products of what was taught to us. And we just had to manifest that into them to say, all right, this is, though, to me, man, listen, I look forward to the men that our sons will be. Mm-hmm. Because they should be better versions of us, right?
It should be.
My son, I listen, man. I pray that I just live long enough to see the man that my son could be, the man that your kids could be, because you took what your parents taught you, put it into your sons, mm-hmm. and then those sons, because now they got the game from you that was given to you by your dad. Now you polish it on up, you give it to them. And then boom, though, man. And it's listen, man, I think that they're different, but they're different because we raised them to be differently, though. And I think that you just have to, I think you have coaches these days where they say, oh, you don't relate to players. Stan Van Gundy was one where they were just like, yeah, he doesn't relate to this young generation of players. So you see coaches now that are starting to be younger coaches, and coaches that have played more, that are getting head coaching jobs now. So it's just different, though, man. But these new boys, they different.
Well, the other thing, too, man, when you look at these NBA players, too, man, they grown men. So you get to yelling at them. You might get, I mean, we've seen some people get choked out on the sidelines.
Yeah, but NBA play a lot. I told you, ain't nobody in the NBA fighting. Ain't nobody
to fight, though. But I'm saying, if you yell at me, I'm yelling back. I mean, you just seen what happened this year with Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler. So what I'm saying is, it could. What I'm saying is, you have those star players who could be detrimental to the team by doing something like that.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting though, man. Who you got in these play-in games?
I think that I want to see what Memphis do, bro. It's not like I think Memphis is going to win it all, but I would love to see what they do.
Me too. Did you see they asked James Harden is he feeling any pressure? And he was like, nah, I don't feel no pressure.
Nah, I ain't watched no, bro. Listen, I haven't watched a sports show in quite some time because all them boys did was rag on boy Russ. So it was no point for me.
Let me tell you this. I usually hate the guy, Brian Windhorst, so bad, mm-hmm. right? I hate him so badly, bro, because I think that he just seemed like he was just riding LeBron's jock and whatever works, right? But mm-hmm. he says, no, I believe James Harden is right, because everybody was like, no, I think that James Harden is just being, he's just trying to be deflective or whatever. And he says, no, I think that James Harden is true. I think that he feels no pressure whatsoever. He said, listen, when you leave a team and, when you leave a team that's building around you, and then you blame Chris Paul for the downfall of that team, and then you move, and then you force your way to another team, and then you blame, and then you blame that Kyrie basically wasn't serious. So you go ahead and try to go to a team you think is better. And so now he says, so when you go to that team and you say, oh, you know what, just to show that I'm committed, I'm going to pick up my players' options. So that way y'all know that I'm going to be here for at least 2 years, right? And we can talk about the bigger contract. He said he was going to do it and didn't do it, didn't opt into his player option. So he was like, so I think that James Harden is about the bread, where he's like, I got a $200 million contract lined up, whether I win or lose. So no. And I thought that was an interesting take, though, bro, because everybody's like, listen, bro, we didn't watch you for 10 years, basically. Flame out in these playoffs, though, bro. So
yeah, but here's the thing, though. Like, I feel like at this point, James Harden is James Harden. Unless he wins a ring, his legacy is going to be known for him.
It's how, though.
Yeah.
If James Harden comes out in the finals, right? If James Harden comes out in the finals and averages 35 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists for the duration of the finals, and they win, I think that he's looked at way differently than if he averages 20 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. It's what exactly did you do? Because people are you basically let people create a narrative that you are basically trying to ride a coattail to a ring rather than you lead. So I think that that's the part that I'm personally looking for. And I think that they play tonight or tomorrow. So I am definitely watching that game because some people are starting to pick the Raptors to beat them, though, bro. So if they lose in the first round, bro, listen, man.
But here's the thing, though.
We got to come right back and talk about that. A lot of these
players don't care that people think like that. Like, the thing is, for them, the goal is the ring. That's what, like, Kevin Durant. I mean, even though Kevin Durant, obviously, he cared because he said he was going to take the villain role, but I mean, you don't create burner accounts if you didn't care.
Facts. I think all of them care.
What's also interesting to me, though, is the boy PG ain't gonna be able to play, and this is their win or go home game.
Here's the thing about it. When you say you don't think that these players don't care, you don't think that Chris Paul doesn't know or care that people look at him and say, yeah, he's the best player or one of the best players to not win a ring, or he's the best point guard to not win a ring.
No, but the difference is Chris Paul is somebody who is going to do the work regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like so that's different, right? People know that he went to Oklahoma City, did his thing. He went to Phoenix and turned that around. So it won't be because of effort. It's simply because of the fact it just didn't happen. If it doesn't happen, he's made it to the finals. But when you're talking about James Harden, though, his mindset is not Chris Paul's mindset. So what I'm saying is, if Chris ends his career, he knows that I did everything that I possibly could have done to get there. Whereas
what if James Harden feels? What if he truly feels like he did? But what if he truly did blame everybody else? Right?
I think he thinks that way. I think he really does feel like it's everybody else. I really do think he feels.
You make me see you when you said that you make me. When you say I'm be hating on them, I feel justified, bro.
I mean, that's like I was telling you, though, right? I feel like the things that you care about, some of these players don't care about. I understand that your thoughts and values are what, like, some of the analysts feel. Like, I know Shaq and them feel like how you feel. So I get that. I'm just saying some of the players don't care. Like, if they get the ring, bro, it was worth it. This was my journey. This was my journey.
See, I think that players want you to be able to. People say, even if you don't judge me personally, judge and compare my greatness, right? And that's one of those things that I think that matters, is judge my legacy.
But do you honestly think James Harden is really out here thinking that he's the best player ever? Like, do you think he's Jordan?
I used to think so. I used to think so. I used to think when he was averaging 36 a game, I used to think that I thought that he was thinking like, no, I'm about to go ahead and go all-time great on y'all.
I think he was just thinking I'm the greatest scorer to ever play the game.
Even then, right? But that's where when he was putting up those numbers and he went next level, that's what made me start to believe that, oh, okay, you know what? Now you're being in these all-time great conversations, right? You top 75 and everything like that. That's understood. But I mean, when you start to talk about where in that top 75 that you fit, that's where I thought that he was, you know what I'm saying, starting to make the case that, all right, you know what? I'm not just a top 75 player. I'm a top 20 player. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, crisis diverted. Crisis diverted.
Averted.
So, averted, is it diverted or averted?
Averted. Crisis averted.
Crisis averted. Thank you for correcting me there, bro. Listen,
I didn't know if that was like in your term because you know you back and forward, so I didn't know if that was another one of your Charlie-isms.
Okay, so like forward. Listen, crisis diverted. so listen. Probably like earlier this week, bro. Randomly comes. There was a rumor that came out. I think TMZ ran with it. All of the social media kind of old bloggers ran with it. That the boy ASAP Rocky cheated on Rihanna with a shoe designer for Fenty shoes. So with somebody that's almost like not in her inner circle, but basically on the team, basically though, right? And everybody was up in arms. By the way, I saw Brittany Rowe said men ain't ish behind this, right?
Yeah. Slash Brothers correspondent Brittany Rowe.
Correspondent. Fenty ambassador herself said that men ain't ish, right?
Didn't even check her sources.
Didn't check the sources. Immediately did not give him the benefit of that. I thought that I'd jump out the window for Megan Thee Stallion, the Texas treasure who should be protected at all times. But Brittany topped me on this one. Jumped straight out the window. A day or two passes by. They refute this thing and everything like that. She's, everybody said they broke up. You know what I'm saying? He basically cheats on a pregnant Rihanna at that. Ace Kennedy. It had me thinking, bro. That boy was on it. Listen, it's ASAP Rocky. How much pressure is that? Like their relationship is already public, right? So when you have celebrities, it's hard for your relationship to not be known. Details you can keep behind the scenes, right? But to have your relationship known, that's kind of tough to do. But I was just sitting there thinking, bro, ASAP Rocky is under a lot of pressure because Rihanna has been with a lot of high-profile guys. And not to say a lot. I mean, she's had a few that people know about, right? But amongst those, he may be on the lower end, right, of the people, of the celebrity, of the kind that she's actually been with. Is he under pressure to just be a stand-up? Who's on the list? Okay, let me ask you this. Who is under more pressure in a relationship than ASAP Rocky, bro?
Pete Davidson.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Listen, you basically have the public riding with you right now, right? Because of Kanye's buffoonery and the things that he's been doing, killing you in videos, assassinating your character. He has so many people that follows him that people who have stands of Kanye that are willing to off or get after Pete Davidson. So if it was to come out that Pete Davidson cheated on Kim, bro, it would make Kanye be justified. People would never hear the end of this. We'd never hear the end of it. So whatever the equivalent of Kim's barbs are, they would be all over Pete Davidson, bro.
You know who you had me thinking about somebody here that I didn't consider. First of all, I don't think that Pete Davidson is, because to be quite honest with you, their family is known for good or bad for having a revolving door of different men, right? So even with her, she's been married now 3-4 times basically. And
wait,
all of her Kim.
She's only married twice.
No. Kim was married like 3 times. She married to Kanye. She married to Chris Humphries. And I think she was married one other time, really young. I could be wrong.
She was married young, and they got it like annulled.
Yeah. But
okay,
she said yes and jumped the broom 3 times, though. Okay. At least that I'm aware. But the reason why I guess I wouldn't say that Pete Davidson is because Pete Davidson has a long history as well of dating a bunch of chicks. He has an impressive resume. And
I understand that, but
part of me,
whoever, go ahead.
Part of me feels like Kim is just another girl on his resume.
Nah, Kim's not, bro. Kim is not just another girl, bro. There is nobody in his roster, in his resume, that has the credentials that Kim Kardashian has.
No way.
Name another.
Way.
Okay, listen. Name one.
Let me see. Because see, now you're gonna have me
because the closest one that I know is Ariana Grande.
No, he's dated some top flight supermodels, man.
Okay, but they ain't Kim Kardashian, and they don't have the clout that she does.
Listen, man, he's that. Wait a minute, man. Yes. He dated Kate Beckinsale, bro.
Okay.
Tell
me the name of Kate Beckinsale's followers that be just out here ending people's careers.
Listen, though, man, I think that I would probably say, oh man, okay. He dated
I know he got some winners on his roster, but they ain't Kim Kardashian, bro.
But he used to date Cindy Crawford, bro. Stop playing. And
Cindy
he dated
Crawford,
Ariana Grande.
Bro, Cindy Crawford's followers, she just figured out how to use Twitter, bro. Come on.
Man, listen, bro. Hold on. Let me tell you, you got me pulling this on up though, man.
Yeah, go ahead, keep Jordan reaching, bro.
This man, he got some girls who look famous, but they don't look all that good to me though, bro. God damn. Okay, Kate Beckinsale. Margaret Qualley.
Don't even know who that is, bro.
Oh my God, she did an independent film, bro. Stop playing.
None of them are Kim Kardashian, bro.
I just for me, listen, I understand that you are right. And listen, and it could very well be that she's so different from all the other women that he's been with. But I feel like that she is like, I don't see them as forever, right? And so because of that, I see that even if he doesn't cheat on her, right? I don't see them as forever. So I totally see like maybe she is the crown jewel. Like that's like saying, who is Nick Cannon's crown jewel of his resume? And I think that Kim K is his crown jewel. That's how I look too.
And that's why I said, so what I'm saying is somebody was to cheat on Mariah Carey, we wouldn't hear the end of it. It's the same thing. People like those, it's like how we talk about stars, superstars, and icons. Like whether you want to admit it or not, Kim Kardashian is next level, bro. Like this.
I'm not saying that I can't. It's not that I can't. It's not that I can't admit it. I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm. You just don't think the pressure is there.
I don't think that he has that kind of pressure. Like I don't think that he has.
I got somebody else.
I don't think he has pressure to like marry her. I don't think he has pressure. I think that if he just ghosted her or whatever, yeah, people would be. But she has a history of she has a roster. She might have to some other woman an impressive man resume, and maybe whoever like. Listen, bro.
I got somebody that has more pressure. I have a new candidate who has more pressure than ASAP Rocky right now. Will Smith.
Listen, I thought Jada would have had more pressure. Why? Why is it that the men have all the pressure?
Because what I'm saying is because everybody is basically saying that he's on the clock to divorce her. They are applying pressure to him for his sanity, for his they're saying that she's the reason that Will's acting out. So all the pressure
under more pressure. Jada's
not under any pressure. This is why Jada's not under no pressure. The reason why Jade is not on pressure because it is documented, even in Will's book, that she never really wanted a wedding, that she doesn't like the way that he loves her. Like her out is already there. Plus, she's already had a public relationship with some other person. So in the minds of everybody else, she's already checked out. So there's no pressure for her.
It is. I think the opposite. I think for all of those reasons, the reason why her shortcomings, I guess, of their relationship became public. I think that people saying, "I listen, we know about that now. Now go out here and do the right thing by this man." I think it's more pressure on her.
I think it's the other way where it's like, we know about all y'all stuff. Now it's pressure on you. You need to let her go.
So you think that there's pressure on Will to leave Jada?
Listen. People
I don't think so.
Listen, if you notice, right, when the slap around the world happened, most people said, "Dang, everybody worried about Will, but ain't nobody said nothing about Chris." Why is everybody worried about Will? Why did Matt why did Denzel and Tyler Perry and all of them go check on him? Because they're concerned about his mental. And what is the cause of his mental, according to what everybody else thinks? Is Jada. So the pressure is on him. Like they just surfaced the old video, right, where she came and had the camera in his face, and he was like,
I saw
social
that.
media is my bread and butter right now. You cannot just come up to me and film me and not give me no heads up." That's an old video for one, but it's just now coming up like it's brand new. Like this is post slap Will, right? So everybody's attributing to this stuff as it being a part of his mental health. So the pressure is on Will to get rid of her so that he can be free.
I think, the reason why I think the opposite is that if you already said that you don't think that Jada is toxic to Will.
I don't. Right.
But for that logic, right? I don't think that Will leaves. But I think that, to me, if Jada is painted as the toxic one, then I think that it's pressure for her to prove that she's not the toxic one, that she's not that.
Well, see, that's the thing. I personally don't think that it's a toxic relationship. I think they're just dealing with what married people deal with, right? It's just public. And so people always want people to do what they think that they should be doing. You know what I'm saying?
You know who I've always thought was under pressure, bro?
Who was that?
I think that I got to be honest with you. I think the only female that is under pressure is Nicki Minaj, bro. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Nicki Minaj is under pressure. And listen, and matter of fact, I think that even her husband may be under some pressure. Here's the reason why I think that they both are under pressure. Because Nicki Minaj's husband isn't an industry that I'm aware of. He's not an industry guy, but I think he's also he was a former street dude. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah,
but he's, from all accounts, he wasn't a celebrity. He's what people would consider a regular guy, right? And so I think that there is the fact that, you know what I'm saying, that she had, she was with Meek Mill, she was with Safari, she's this sought after icon chick and everything like that. And for her to almost be with somebody who's so common, I think that there is that kind of pressure to be like, all right, bro, you know what I'm saying? You better be putting this work in the bedroom. You better be doing whatever, because you got Nicki Minaj. But I also think that there's pressure on Nicki Minaj because the rumor was that she was with Safari and cheated on Safari with Meek Mill. But then she was with Meek Mill, and when they broke up, it was when Meek Mill was kind of going through some things and everything like that, though, man. And when he went to jail, she kind of chucked him a deuce. But it almost felt like she was under some pressure from her team to be like, yo, you got to start distancing yourself from dude, right? And since they've broken up, Meek Mill has panned out to be okay, right? But then you also see that now that Nicki's been away from Meek Mill, I mean, not to say that her career has kind of been down, but she hasn't been what's popping. So I think that she probably has the pressure on top of all that to say, this gotta be, this part of my life gotta be right. It gotta be ironclad though, bro.
Bro, you know who would have some pressure on them? And this is the last thing before we get out of here. Whoever dates Laura London is gonna have
pressure. Yeah. Whoever, I don't even know. So this is the thing that makes it tough.
It does.
Because I think that she would. So
what I'm saying is you know what the kids and everything mean to her. So if she was, it would almost be like if Vanessa Bryant dated again, the pressure on both of their situations would be out of here.
Yeah, that's a lot of listen, man. That is a lot of pressure because, I mean, but man, okay. So you know who I think, is under pressure, a lot of pressure, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think that Jay-Z has pressure because now that he's revealed in song that he has stepped out on Beyonce before. I think that if that's not something that I believe could be something that could be tolerated to happen again and become public.
I don't, but because they know that B also has some indiscretions.
So I've never heard that she's had any indiscretions.
Brother.
I've never heard that.
Yeah,
I've never heard that.
You haven't. You better go check the Beehive.
I've never heard that. No, no. I've never heard that.
There is a security guard who has definitely been tasting that honey.
No way. No.
Yeah.
No.
You better check your sources, brother.
No. I would listen. I would know that if it were true. But no, I think though, bro, that I think that
wait a minute now. Wait, time out. Let me ask you this question, and I'll let you finish your point. I want you to think this in the back of your head. Would it be pressure for Jay-Z if it happened again? If Offset, it happened again with Cardi?
I think the expectation for Offset is low, bro. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I almost expected. I feel terrible in saying it though, bro. But I almost expected. And listen, I think so. This is the thing, and the reason why I say that, right, is that so I give Offset some room because he's so young. I can't give Jay-Z room because he's so older. He's so much older. Where it's like, all right, bro. At some point, like you got Beyonce, and this is where I think ASAP Rocky has this similar pressure because you have on some people a top 5 female of say this is an iconic lifetime female, and you out here stepping out, and it feels like to me, this is why I look at it. I feel like almost like Laura London, like she's ours, right? Beyonce ours. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that I don't quite feel that way about Cardi yet. Yeah. But I think that, you know what I'm saying? Like she's still iconic, but still new, but longevity wise, not quite what the others are. And so I think that there's a certain level of cachet. There's a certain level of expectations that comes with being the spouse of that. And I just think that when it comes to Jay, it's the fact that, all right, bro, like you stepped out on Beyonce. You know what I'm saying?
But you say that, but he's still Jay-Z, bro.
I get that, but I
think those two are equals, though. So
I do agree with you on that.
So what I'm saying is that I think that the reason why, like, will people be disappointed? 100%. But will it be career ending? Absolutely not.
Ace Kennedy, if it won't be career ending, but this is a negative and positive of that. If ASAP Rocky would have stepped out on Rihanna, right, and Jay-Z has stepped out on Beyonce, right, and these are two of the iconic women who ain't safe, bro. Who is safe?
You're right. There's but here's the thing:
ASAP Rocky is worth, they say net worth of $10 million, right? And Rihanna is a billionaire, and they said that she's the highest revenue generating female artist, and he steps out on Rihanna, right?
Because none of that stuff matters, though, bro.
But even when none of that matters, right? My thing is that even when it comes to, you say guys are all about looks. It makes it look like it is really that easy for a guy to be interested in something else.
Yeah, but no, I don't take it like that. I look at it as you might have all the equipment, but are you getting to use it?
So wait a minute. So do you think it's better? Okay, we're gonna get that. Do you think if you smashing Beyonce or Rihanna twice a month versus you smashing what's this girl who the girl who Kanye had to look like Kim K, right?
Just call her Kim alike.
Kim alike. Do you think that having them if you're with them for a lifetime, not even a lifetime, let's just say that you're in a regular committed relationship to them, and they are coming off it 2 times a month, and these other ones,
not enough, bro.
Listen. If this is what I'm saying, if you're coming off it 2 times a month for them two, right? Rihanna, Beyonce, and then you got Kim alike, who can come off the cakes 20 times a month. Does that overweigh the 2 times a month that you would get from the woman who you committed to?
100%.
Are you serious, bro?
Bro, listen.
Hey, Skinny, bro. Listen, man.
Listen.
You got the fellas looking bad out here with that answer, bro.
No, I'm not.
Explain yourself, please. Explain this. Explain it.
Bro, there is a thing called love language. Everybody has a particular love language. When your love language isn't being met, you typically will go seek it elsewhere because that's what you look at as your. So the thing is that the only thing that your pride would be hurt because you would be thinking, I'm with the person of everybody else's dreams, but it's only twice a month. I mean, if your drive is that, then you might be happy with that. As for me, it's not gonna work. Because just like you said, right? There's a Kim Kardashian and then there's a Kim alike.
We need to listen. This is why I want to pose this question to some females, bro.
We do.
On the next week's podcast. I got a couple of people. Yeah. We got to make that because that's tough. That is tough, Ace.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, look,
my
bro,
gosh.
This is Easter weekend, so I hope everybody truly enjoys their weekend and however you choose to celebrate that. I hope you and your family enjoy yourselves. We are the Slash Brothers. Join us every Tuesday and Friday at 6:00 Central Standard Time and 7:00 Eastern Time. We are the Slash Brothers. We outro.
Peace out.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock